All right, man. So you just got done watching the Superman trailer. You had all the emotions, all the feels. You saw the dog. Oh, it's so cool. But just who in the hell are most of these people? Well, if you don't know, I'm here to help you. In fact, IGN is here to help me, help you, help me, help you. Help me. Learn who all of these people are and what they could possibly mean for the upcoming Superman movie. Some, of course, are clearly obvious. Some of them maybe not so obvious, but we'll run down the list and we'll see what's going on. Breaking down the most important characters in the first Superman trailer. The trailer that's got the whole world abuzz. Everyone I know, everyone I've seen, everyone I follow is commenting about this movie. They're commenting about Superman. They're commenting about the trailer. Most people seem to be in favor. There's a few naysayers out there. There's a few skeptics out there. Hell, I could even be one of them because I've been caught by surprise by a trailer before thinking it was going to be something worthy and turn out to be complete dog trash. However, I don't think this is one of them. I think this movie might be, and dare I say it, one of the highest grossing superhero movies of all time. Yeah, I said it. I said it. We'll see if I'm right. Let's go down the list here. Who's who? Well, we got Lex Luthor here. Lex Luthor. Yeah. Boom. Lex Luthor, of course, known in his WWE stint as a narcissist. Also in WCW several times. Best friend of Sting. Once dated Elizabeth. Ooh, yeah. And now, just does a lot of podcasts. No, I'm kidding. Lex Luthor is not in the movie. Lex Luthor is in the movie. Despite being the most important Superman villain of them all, Lex Luthor appears surprisingly little in this trailer. Yeah, we do see the Luthor Corp sign, and we do see him bounce around a little bit with that weird-looking gun. That's probably a gun that has the kryptonite bullet in it, would be my guess, by the way. We only seen a couple of quick shots of Lex here, including where he's holding the gun, apparently having a very emotional reaction to a crowd shoving or showing, well, they were shoving him too, showing its love for the Man of Steel. Despite his minimal presence in the trailer, all signs point to Luthor being the main villain of the movie. Well, of course he's going to be the main villain of the movie. It's goddamn Lex Luthor, man. How in the hell can Lex Luthor not be the main villain of the movie? No, I kid. Gunn previously told IGN that Lex and Superman know each other by reputation only, and this film marks the first time Lex actually clashes with the Man of Steel. So while it's not really an origin movie, we are definitely going back to the early years of Superman, right? If Lex and Superman are just crossing paths for the very first time, this has got to be early on in Superman's superhero career. Gunn also revealed that this version of Lex is heavily inspired by the one seen in the comic All-Star Superman. Probably one of the best Superman comics that I've never read. Telling reporters, Lex is really a sort of sorcerer in a way. He's a scientist, but he's also so good at science that I think of him like a sorcerer. So he's like a mad scientist. Why don't you just say that, Mr. Gunn? He's like a mad scientist. He's Dr. Frankenstein of the science world. That might be going a little far. He may be a science sorcerer, but this Lex Luthor also promises to be more three-dimensional and sympathetic than past cinematic incarnations. The actor revealed as much during a roundtable interview with the Superman trailer premiere. I don't really know how to say his last name. Hoult? Is that it? This Lex, I mean, obviously he's smart and ruthless, and he has to be to outmaneuver Superman on certain levels because he can't match him in others. But there's also something about this character where even though you perhaps don't agree with his process, there's an element where you can understand on some levels where he's coming from and what he's pushing and why, and what he's pushing or why he's pushing. His ideology is perhaps better for humanity. Sounds like a lot of politicking there to me. I don't know. So again, man, your first here, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Boom. Come see the movie soon. Now, we have, of course, Crypto the dog. Crypto and the Silver Age influence. One of the biggest surprises surrounding Gunn's Superman so far has been the reveal that Superman's faithful dog, Crypto, is appearing for a first action live Superman movie. This is no surprise. We have heard about Crypto the dog being in this movie now for months, if not for a year. I knew the dog was coming. I didn't know we would see it in the trailer, but I knew the dog was in the movie. We see Crypto being a very good boy. You're such a good boy. You're a good boy. In the trailer, coming to his master's aid in his time of need. Despite that, Gunn has teased that Crypto won't always be so well behaved. What is he? Got rabies? What the hell's wrong with this dog, man? With the character's feisty personality being inspired by a dog Gunn himself adopted during the film. This dog's going to be a rebellious fucking jerk? Like, what's going on here? What's going on with this dog? Gunn told reporters at a trailer reveal that Superman's relationship with Crypto is complicated. It sounds like my entire love life. And he's not nearly the best dog. You're such the best dog that you've ever seen. There's a lot more Crypto than you see in the trailer. But yeah, I also thought that this was a way to say that, yes, we are embracing all of Superman mythology. Man, Superman came out in what? The late 30s? Something like that. Golden Age comic. You got a lot of mythology, my friend, to go through. In the comics, there's been a few different versions of Crypto over the years, but the gist is that he's a dog from Krypton who undergoes the same massive power boost as Clark once he arrives to Earth. See, this is sort of the problem. It's all a problem. It's not really a problem. But the thing is that how many fucking Kryptonians are there? It was supposed to be just Superman. Then we got the entire Superman family. You know, and we got villains from Krypton. We got General Zod and his crew. We got a fucking dog. Man, who else is next? Who's next? It's like Goldberg. I don't have a picture of him, though. I should have, though. Who's next? Who's next? Crypto's inclusion in the film is one of the clearest signs that Gunn Superman is heavily inspired by DC's Silver Age comics than its predecessors. For those not familiar with the term, the Silver Age describes a period in time in comics when they were so much better and there were so much more money. Excuse me. No, a period of time in comics from the 50s and 60s. It denotes a more lighthearted tone and a heavier emphasis on science fiction elements. In the Silver Age Superman comics, Superman was often battling giant monsters rather than traditional villains. Well, barely an issue would go by without Lois Lane or Jimmy Olsen undergoing some bizarre transformation. Yeah, there's been a few of those. The Silver Age is also known when readers were introduced to Superman's extended family. This is kind of what I'm talking about, including Supergirl, Crypto, and other members of the Super Pet Menagerie. Look, it's fun. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I think Crypto might be the star of the show. He might become more popular than Baby Yoda or Jeff the Land Shark. Females are definitely going to love it. The animal lovers are definitely in love with it. I'm sure he's going to steal the show. That's my prediction on that. Who's next? This guy. Now, some people may be familiar with him, may not be familiar with him. Mr. Terrific. One character in the movie is scientific genius rival to Lex Luthor. Mr. Terrific is a brilliant inventor and Olympic-level athlete, both of which combines him to make a natural superhero. He wears a trademark T-shaped mask on his face that allows him to detect energy signatures. He's also had a series of floating robot orbs called T-Spears that he can control at will. According to Gunn, Mr. Terrific is the most important of the various supporting heroes in the film. He goes on to say, I love Mr. Terrific. These characters get all their moments in the sun. They all have their moments. They're just not cameos. These are the characters. They are supporting cast, but Mr. Terrific is the main character of those characters. He actually has a big part in the plot. It's like watching The Simpsons, and you have like Otto and Chief Wiggum. You know, you got the principal, you got the teacher, you got Willie the janitor. You'll be teaching Willie. They're all secondary characters, right? So is this guy. But apparently he will have a big role. Big role. Speaking of secondary characters that are going to be appearing in this, we have Isabella Mersad, I'm going to call her that, as Hawkgirl. Alien Ramos is Isabella, plays Hawkgirl, a winged, mace-wielding hero who serves in the DCU version of the Justice League. We don't know which version of Hawkgirl she is playing, as there have been a lot of them over the years. Hawkgirl and her companion Hawkman are the most convoluted heroes in the DCU. Owing up to the fact that they frequently die and are resurrected in new forms, we suspect Gunn is going to tiptoe around that backstory in his movie and focus on Hawkgirl as the powerful bruiser of the Justice League, much as she was in the animated series. That's exactly what they're going to do. Look, that is the Hawkgirl they're going with. You can tell just by the picture alone. You know, here she comes in with the mace, the big powerful yell. She's going to be, swinging that thing around. Hell, they might even fight Superman. That's what I'm kind of predicting. There might be a superhero battle first, right? Then we have Nathan Fillion. Now, he's one of my mom's favorite actors. Of course, we know him from Castle. We know him from Firefly, The Rookie. He's done a lot of voiceovers for DC Comics. Well, he's in the movie. Doesn't really quite look like him, but it is him. And he's playing Guy Gardner. Now, of course, Guy Gardner was one of the Green Lanterns from way back in the day. I remember reading Justice League Europe, Justice League International, all that good stuff. And Guy Gardner was a prominent character in those books. Firefly's Nathan Fillion is playing Green Lantern in the movie, or a Green Lantern. Fillion is playing Guy Gardner, a brash, tough-talking, blue-collar alternative to the more familiar Lanterns like Hal Jordan and John Stewart. The Guy Gardner, guys, if you don't know, he's a prick. He ends up becoming a Yellow Lantern at some point. And I'm sure that's probably going to be his path. They're probably going to use him to set up the Green Lantern series that's supposed to come on DC, HBO DC. We'll see what happens there. Guy's inclusion in the film is a sign just how much Gunn is drawing from the classic 80s series, Justice League International. Well, there you go. I just mentioned that. For his take on the Justice League, we are assuming, like in the comic, the League in Superman is financed by business tycoon Maxwell Lord, who is played by Guardians of the Galaxy Sean Gunn. Guy is a resident Green Lantern. He's a hero who doesn't always get along with his peers, but he's very handy to have in a fight. Yeah, again, he wasn't the nicest guy in the Justice League. He was there more for, I would say, comedic entertainment. It'll be interesting to see how Guy's role in Superman might connect to the upcoming Lantern series on Max. Funny enough, I just mentioned that too. We do know that the stars, Kyle Chandler as Hal and Aaron Pierre as John, and deals with an Earth-based murder mystery. Remember, I did a video. Go back and watch it. I'll see if I can link it in the up in the corner there. Did a video talking about that, like the Green Lantern movie, instead of being this big big scientific space opera, it is more of a detective story, which is more ground rooted, which sounds very odd to me for Green Lanterns. We'll see how it goes. Let's see what else we got going on here. Now, this one I didn't know. Anthony Kerrigan as Metamorpho. The trailer includes a quick glimpse of Metamorpho, played by Barry Anthony's Kerrigan. Metamorpho was once an adventurer named Rex Mason who was hired by his employee Simon Stagg Enterprises to find a mystical artifact known as the Orb of Ra. After Stagg attempts to kill Mason, Mason is exposed to radioactive meteorite and is transformed. He gains the ability to change his body in different periodic elements, though he also gains the monstrous appearance as we see in the trailer. Metamorpho is nothing but a tragic character, doomed to be shunned by polite society as he routinely defends the world with his powers. He's perfect for Gunn's sensibilities. In other words, we don't know if Metamorpho will be a member of the Justice League in the film, but it's a safe bet he will be an ally to Superman. We will see. I'm not necessarily sure I believe that all these guys are going to be friends. We'll find out. Keelix or Kalix, however you want to pronounce this, we'll call him Keelix. One shot in the trailer shows a grieving Superman cradling a blue robot. That's right. Elon Musk's robots have failed. They've gone nuts, and Superman had to take them all out. It's just like iRobot without a Will Smith. No, that's not what happened. We can only assume that the robot is Keelix. Despite the color change, Keelix is a relic of Krypton, and it's the primary caretaker of Superman's Fortress of Solitude. The trailer suggests that a lot of action in the film will be taking place at the fortress, and will seem that Helix will be damaged or destroyed in the chaos. As one of the only tangible links to Superman's past on Krypton, we can understand why Helix's death might upset him a little. It's a robot. He doesn't die. If you build it, we can fix it. We can fix Helix, goddammit. He just needs a new power converter. Of course, we have Superman himself. He needs no introduction, just like they say here. He's the star of the movie. He's the reason why you're going to go see it. He's going to be compared to Henry Cavill, Christopher Reeve, and anyone else that's ever played Superman. We'll see how they handle him as Clark Kent. I notice a lot of people have been kind of bashing his toupee, his rag, his really weird curly hair in the trailer. But we'll see if this actually suits him in the long run. We have Lois Lane here. Lois Lane. Of course, I don't really think Lois Lane, needs much of an introduction. I mean, if you know who Superman is, you know who Lois Lane is. She's the girlfriend of Superman. She's that nosy reporter from the Daily Planet who just has to get the scoops and everything that she does. We'll see what's her name again? I don't know the cast off by heart. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. We'll just call him Ray Ray. We'll see what Ray Ray brings to the table here. Not a bad looking woman. We'll see how she's different than the Lois Lane that I remember. Okay, we'll see. And I'm not talking about Terry Hatcher, although she was kind of hot. We're gonna move on. We don't need to read all this. We know who Lois Lane is. And that's it. I mean, those were sort of the major characters. Of course, we got John Kent here, elderly John Kent. But really, I think people didn't know who the robot was and who Metamorpho was. Some people may not know who Guy Gardner was or even picked up this was Guy Gardner. I think most people would know who Hawkgirl is. I think some people might know who Mr. Terrific is, but not everyone. If you're the casual moviegoer, but not a casual reader of comics or even the cartoons, you probably have no idea who he is. Crypto the dog. I'm sure most people, if they didn't know, they certainly know now. Okay, they certainly know now, as he is all the rave. And I'm sure that we're going to have more cameos, more appearances in the movie than just what's seen here. If you think that they've shown you all their tricks, you think they've shown you all their surprises, then I think you'll be surely mistaken. And please stop calling me Shirley. Guys, stay tuned now from a word from our sponsors. And just who is the sponsor of today's video? Well, it's me, Austin. It's been me all along. And guys, I just want to quickly point out that I too am a comic book creator. I just don't speak it. I produce it, right? It's like put your money where your mouth is. We do that each and every time we have a release. I've been doing this now for a decade. We're published. We're in comic book shops. And we're on eBay. So if you ever want to check out Nyobi and you haven't yet, one of the best ways to do that is to come by our eBay store. Take a little scroll through here. If you type in Nyobicomics, you'll find it. Of course, link will be in the description of the video. I have all kinds of great back issues and hard to find variants here from artists that you know and love, like Jamie Tyndall, Elsie Frita, Steph Wilson, Paul Green, John Stinsman of Evangeline fame, Keith Garvey, and so many more, guys. If you're missing out on some Nyobi back issues, if you're looking for that hard to find variant, chances are you're going to find the best deal right here on eBay, and chances are you're going to find that deal directly through me. And as always, if you do order a book from me, I'll throw in a little extra goodies in there, a little tchotchke package of stickers and bookmarks and cards. Oh my. You'll have all that. Plus, you can have your book signed or unsigned. That is up to you. And keep an eye on this page because I do update it fairly frequently with new items all the time. As something sells, I will put it back up. So guys, today's sponsor, Nyobicomics, the eBay store. Come check it out.